Hi there, and welcome to MS-DOS Game Reviews, where I visit ancient games in an emulator and record the results for posterity. So if this is your sort of thing, please enjoy. Today we are looking at quite a peculiar game. It's called Perestroika, and it's got a little bit of a political message in it. Not terrible, but kind of tongue-in-cheek, let's say. So here's a description of Perestroika on myabandonware.com, and it's made for fun game by a Russian developer called Lokis, and they promptly disappeared. Make of that what you will. And it's has an interesting historical value. It operates as a game and a subliminal instrument for Russian propaganda. So this is a joke, don't take it too seriously. So you play a frog that must leap from one lily pad to the other to get to the finish mark before the pads sink underwater. At the same time, you must also avoid big ugly flies that chase you around the screen to eat you up. The game represents three elements of the Russian Perestroika movement: the citizens, the bureaucrats, and the capitalists. I won't say which element in the game is which. See if you can figure it out. Suffice it to say, you will build a democracy in Russia by the time the game ends. And yeah, there's some screenshots. So there's also a one of the campaign. There we go. So this guy says the frog represents a democrat and the lilies the changing laws in the USSR. Constantly change and disappear. Player can collect dots in four colors, symbolizing grocery goods, currency transactions, progressive taxes, and ventures. Evil creatures are bureaucrats which try to eat the frog. And then they talk about a different remake. So that is the description of the game. Let's go see what it looks like. Alrighty, so if you can read Russian, all of these would make a lot of sense to you. Otherwise, whip out your Google Lens and translate. So I've got some screenshots of this somewhere, but I'll leave that as a mystery. So as you can see there, number 1 is my name. I've been practicing this game a little bit just to give you guys a good experience of what this game is actually like. So on level 1, you are this little green guy that I'm now moving back and forth, and you can see the circles are getting smaller and smaller. So yes, you are a little froggy on a pond, let's say, and there's all these lily pads that pop up and disappear slowly. And your aim of the game is to get to that number 1 up there. So you can see even the starting pad is getting smaller, so you can't stay still forever. But here you go. So it's dangerous to move, let's say it like that, especially on the first few levels. And as long as there's no way to go, there's no point in moving, is there? But this is extra points, so for that I'll move. But the danger here is that you'll get caught on a tiny little lily and sink. So there's some strategies to play the game. So as you can hear, every time that high pitched tweak is when a lily disappears, let's say. We won't go for the alternate explanation yet. But if you can read the Russian, the middle bit there, that's companions. And right there next to the cloud, apparently that says welfare for some reason. And then right over the top left, that is living standard for some reason. And you definitely want to catch all the little blue bits. That gives you extra score. And the score seems to be almost logarithmic. So if you do really well, it gets much bigger really quickly. Right, so now in the upper right hand corner you can see the fly. Now the fly seems to be bigger than the frog, and in the alternate description, that is your bureaucrat coming to mess things up. So in the beginning of the game there was a description for each of the colored pebbles that you can get, and it is labeled as goods and services and taxes and that sort of thing. So definitely, I think the alternate description is better, as it's more accurate. So the game is a little confusing in that sense. You know, are you really a little frog bouncing, or are you a little Democrat trying to survive all the changing laws around you? I don't know. And I'm in trouble. So that guy's got a clear shot to me now. And oh dear. Lucky. No. So your ultimate game is to get to that point, because it acts like a multiplier. The higher your coin is, the quicker your score grows. So that is definitely something that you would want. Now, when I said it's dangerous to move, what I meant by that is you have to emulate a pretty slow machine for this game to run properly. And what sometimes happens is that your key press gets ignored, and then you might end up pressing a key double or something. So there is a way around this guy. You've got to see which way he's going to move, and then you go the other way. Oh, and yeah, those yellow bits are called taxes, and that's why it makes this sound. So can't get anywhere yet, but this seems to be the most promising place. So yeah, the game is kind of weird, kind of interesting, very playable, very addictive. Very addictive, I have to say, and frustrating at some point. So I have a fighting chance if this guy moves quickly enough to finish this level. Whoa, so lucky. Alrighty. So we're definitely getting into the bounce heats now. Bugger! I thought that little lily pad would hang around for just a little bit longer. But at least I can see my fly over there sitting on an isolated lily pad, thinking about his life choices. Oh, somebody's thrown him a lifeline. Yeah, so when there's such a lot of lily pads like this, and in the later levels, the gameplay seems to change. It seems to be way different, the mechanics of it, because the islands seem to hang around for a bit longer. And there always seems to be like multiple paths to something, if that is what you require. Boink. Well, on a little archipelago, a little group of islands. And that's it. Just one key phrase wrong, and all my scheming is down the drain. I'm in the same situation as I was just now. Staring down my little Democrat, hoping for an island to pop up in just the right place. And that wasn't the right place. So I wonder what that sound is, what does that mean? I didn't see anything change. Beaten back to right at the beginning. Come on. Oh dear. Come on. Oh, I'm really in trouble. Should have moved before. Oh, just as I stepped on it. That is so unfair. So the red little dots are supposed to be like an adventure. They're worth quite a few points. Yeah, so even though the rules are really simple, this game seems to have quite a few dimensions to it and makes for very interesting gameplay. And yeah, you've got to bide your time, move at the right time, take risks, not take risks. It's all very interesting, but yeah, why am I not running for that thing up there? Well, I am. So as long as it makes sense to move, so your principles still stand. You've got to have somewhere to go, and I've just put myself on an island here that's slowly disappearing, hoping that there's going to be a lily pad that's within reach and not sink and drown like that bureaucrat over there. But there's just nothing popping up around me. And I mean, I've got 1 in 4 chances. There we go. Maybe moaning a little bit about it helped. I don't know. But I think we're already in high score territory here. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. So in that blue bar, I see little light blue dashes, and I've got no idea what that means. And what does it mean? Is it just eye candy that the developers added in? I don't know. What I do know is those islands looked uncomfortably little. So just biding my time, waiting for opportunity. Because what you got to look for is as a group of really large islands, and then keep your options open. And failing that, you're starting a little lily pad in the bottom left here. Excuse me, that one sticks around for much longer. So it's relatively safe if it looks like everything around you is just disappearing. So at the moment there's no way for me to go really, so I can't move. So luckily there's also no time limit on this, so you're not limited by time apart from where your little lily pads appear. It's just disheartening when there's nowhere to go. But now there's somewhere to go. Oh, and that sometimes happens. It looks like a really nice lily pod, and when you step on it, it just sinks. So that's name of the game, I guess. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. There's not much you can do about that. Oh, but you see my little islands of safety have disappeared there. and I've limited myself to these 4 islands now, 5 islands, and they are disappearing, and there's nothing coming next to them except this one. So it always seems to be a good idea to find a group of large islands. And keep your eyes open for opportunity. You never know when it starts knocking. Oh, I just know what's going to happen here. I'm going to win this level. Ha 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 ha. Righty, 84,000. So that was easy. Sometimes you're lucky. You can just skip across the pond without a care in the world. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, so at certain amount of points you just get given a little extra companion there, which are always fun. But I feel my little island's going away again, distressingly. Nothing seems to last these days. And then there's that pink-eyed bureaucrat over there, Fly, which steadily making me nervous as well. Lucky level 13, I guess. Oh, this might be silly. This might be really silly. I don't think this is a good idea standing there. Oh, now I'm frozen in space. And now I have no options. Now I'm just gonna wait. Come on. Am I gonna get a lily pad popping up next to me? Or is this gonna be an unfortunate, really wet end? My froggy? Apparently not. Ha ha ha. There's just no way. I'm still on a isolated list of islands. Luckily, I can move a lot quicker than that buggy-eyed red thing. Is this wise? yeah, so a really interesting game, really fun tactics. Yeah, so that yellow tab definitely does decrease your score by a little bit. So yeah, despite the apparent simplicity of this game, it's fiendishly difficult. It took me about a day of practicing before reaching any sort of level of competency with this game. And now there's two of these guys. Two! Oh, that's no good, huh? Well, you gotta take risks. Yeah, I haven't even talked about the technical parts of this game. It uses the EGA color palette really well. Key presses are really good, and sound. I mean, it's got digitized sound over the little PC speaker, and it runs on really limited hardware. So that is definitely an achievement. Apart from it being a fun, addictive game, it is technically a well, I won't say masterpiece, but definitely a piece of art. And then they even managed to add some extra dimensions to the game, like the hidden messages. There's no hidden symbols as far as I can tell. Definitely hidden messages. Alright, that was painful. So I believe, without any evidence, that there are 25 levels to the game. And that's only because somewhere in the loading screens the coins were listed up to 25. That's the only supporting evidence I have for that theory. But I think if you get to level 25 you win the game. That's my theory. Anybody that has any proper information on this is of course quite welcome to comment and correct me if I'm wrong. I just play the games. This is getting dodgy. Oh dear, this is getting super dodgy. When are we gonna get something? There's just no way off. My three little slowly disappearing islands. Oh! sound effects, really, really good. For a little game, fantastic. Yeah, especially over the DOS speaker, digitized sounds usually sounds absolutely terrible. And in this game, they're actually passable. Of course, if these guys had access to some ad-lib or whatever sound, they would have definitely used it. Okay, let's see if I can find somewhere safe to hide from that fly. There we go. Of course. Oh. Why is it trying to get to me? Yeah, that cracks me up every time. Yeah, what's interesting to note is that these little islands don't disappear at the same speed. Some of them last way longer than others. Choose a side. Okay. It seems to be that there's a maximum limit to the board size, because I haven't seen the number of lilies increase recently. There just seems to be more enemies. The game definitely does scale its difficulty as you play. But the game logic still escapes me a little bit. But I have a feeling there's quite a bit of it that's random, or at least randomly generated, and then follows a pattern. So I think that the lilies are random, but then they get given a certain amount of lifetime. If that makes any sense. But I can see that I'm in trouble. Yeah, the rate of disappearance doesn't seem to be tied into whether or not you're standing on the lily pad. Although that would have been interesting. This is going to be painful. Right. Alright, where do we go next? There's nothing connecting us except for that little quickly disappearing island. Come on, move. These islands don't last forever. Move. Thank you. Pick a side. Oh dear. Oh, which way is it gonna move? Which way am I gonna move? What is interesting is that little fly guy does seem to have common sense, getting off the island just before it disappears. Yeah, I think there's a maximum limit that, of lily pads that the game supports, and we might be running up to the design limit of the game here. I believe it's been designed to run on the 8086, which is like the first processor that was in the first IBM PCs. So it's made to run on really, really low-end hardware. Oh dear. My last character. Am I going to beat my high score, or maybe even finish this game? If I want to try to do that, I would have to move a lot more carefully. That was silly of me. A little schoolboy error. Oh dear. So here it tells you how you fared, what was available, how many you actually collected, and all sorts of things. So, oh dear, there's not much I can do about that. So if you press enter, it'll ask you for your name if you made the high score. So I've done that. And yeah, I've got them 2 in a row now. And then the last. Cha-cha-cha. 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 Okay. So Google Translate tells me that it says our condolences or something like that. And then quickly it flashes up there, do you want to continue? And it's 0 and 1. I'm going to press 1 just to have something in the background. If you press 0, you exit to DOS. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you've liked it. If you want to subscribe, there's a link over there. Google seems to think you would like that. And there are more of my videos available. Yeah. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.